Welcome to the Silentsports video blog. I'm Troy West here with you once again. Thank you for watching. This is episode 208. Today's date is November 5th, 2022. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. A little tired, so I'm gonna try to push through this blog as quickly as possible. But thank you guys before I get started for all the support. Thanks for the new subs. Thanks for the likes and everything. Sonic Origins, of course, like I said, is doing very, very well for the channel. Bringing in more audience. We got a big week this week, of course, with God of War premiering next week. Call of Duty Modern Warfare still gonna be jumping off. So they're the two main projects. I just finished up Last of Us, but I'm interested in playing Last of Us 2. So that'll be something in the future to look out for. And of course, weekly blogs every week right here, Saturday mornings. On the Silentsports and Gaming channel, so I thank you guys so much for all the support. Shout out to my friend Helping Hearts 88. Talked to her this week. It was good to talk to her. I haven't talked to her in a long time. Glad she's doing relatively well. And all my YouTube family and all my real family and friends for the support. Thank you all. Today's blog, hopefully we get through it. Next week is going to really be small without the baseball segment, but we're going to touch on the World Series. Astros with a big win in game 4 and 5 to take a 3-2 lead in this series. And go back home with 2 chances to win the World Series. We'll look at that. NBA news, James Harden injury. Look like it's going to hurt the Sixers. Ben Simmons is also out for Brooklyn. Speaking of the Nets, the Kyrie Irving fiasco, I give my take on everything going on with that. He was suspended 5 games. Well, basically it's indefinite. But it's 5 games definitely for sure. And then about up and down segment, how many teams made the up, how many teams made the down. I will go into that. NFL Week 9. Week 9 started off with the Eagles continue to win as they now 8-0, still the only undefeated team left in the NFL. Beating Houston didn't look too great to me, what I've seen, but still got the win. And we look at the big 5 games of the week and all the picks for Week 9. So that's what today's show is going to entail. Let's go ahead and get into the World Series. I got my Blue Jays hat on, who I predicted to make it to the World Series, but they didn't even get out the wild card round. So I sort of trolling myself putting this hat on. But Phillies and Astros, I think this series is a long way from over. I think Game 6 is going to be probably a classic. Of course, Houston in Game 4 with the combined no-hitter. Only the second no-hitter in World Series history, period. But the combined no-hitter in Game 4, and then Game 5 came down to the wire. Houston was able to pull that out. I just think Houston's a better team. I picked Houston to win this series. I think they will. But it might go 7. I think Philly will have one push left and might force a Game 7. Wouldn't be shocked if it's over tonight, because tonight is Game 6. And in fact, while I'm here, let's look at the pitching matchup for tonight. Big win for Justin Verlander in Game 5 as well. His first World Series win. He's been in the World Series a few times and gets his first win. But let's look at the pitching matchup for tonight. So by next week, the season will be over. Ain't gonna be much baseball to talk about unless they announce the MVP and stuff, which I think they don't announce for a few weeks. So we will probably talk no baseball in a while. Zach Wheeler's on the mound. He was shaky in that other game, and Valdez. So yeah, it should be a great game tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try to watch a little bit of it. First pitch is at 8:03 tonight. By that pitching matchup made me think Houston might win this game tonight. But I think Philadelphia, because they face elimination, is probably going to, if Wheeler struggles, they're not going to leave him in too long. So they'll probably go to the bullpen and try to keep it in distance, keep the league in distance. So, but I appreciate all the support, like I said, through the chat. I'm sorry, I was looking at something on my phone. But I think it's gonna be a good game tonight. Like I said, probably be a classic game. But the Phillies, like I said, they've been fighting all year long. This game could go either way though, but I wouldn't be surprised by the outcome. I think it might go 7, but I still will lean towards the Astros winning the championship. And once that happens, I'll probably do a short right here on the Silentsports Gaming channel, give my thoughts and congratulate the winning team. So let's go ahead and move on because I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired. I had a long week. I'm tired, barely holding on this morning. Let's get into the NBA. A lot of drama going on with the Nets. We're gonna get to that in a second. But like I said, injuries starting to be huge. James Harden out for at least a month. I think it's something with his foot, I believe. In fact, let's go and check that. We don't have to speculate. But that's going to be huge for the Sixers, who's already struggling. Oh, excuse me. They already struggling, and now this injury comes. Let's see. Oh, it should come up here. Okay. But yeah. But that's gonna hurt the Sixers. And Embiid ain't seem like he's not himself. Yeah, I knew it was up with his foot, a right foot tendon strain, so that's huge. So basically it's gonna be tired. But I think Tyrese Maxey is flourishing. I think he had more chance to flourish now. And maybe Embiid can get together. They might can steady the ship before Harden gets back, but they definitely need him. And Simmons is out again. I think he's just day-to-day though, but he was out the other night. So and then now with the Kyrie Irving situation, they need him now. He ain't played in a year, so I think he's still trying to knock the rust off. But they need him too. Brooklyn, good showing last night by blowing out the Wizards, but the Nets is in disarray. Kyrie, let's get into that. Sorry, I'm stumbling a little bit. Hearing noise. I don't know if y'all can hear the noise around me. Thanks. Like I said, thanks for the support. But the Kyrie Irving situation. First, let's talk about the off the court stuff. The tweet and all that nonsense. I think it is sort of hypocritical. How he's being treated by people. Now, he's getting the backlash, but I don't understand when things like this get put out there, why they don't stop it from being produced, like the book itself and the movie. I think it's a movie as well. I think it's on Amazon. Like, why is it even being published if it's this bad, if there's so much negativity and falsehoods in it? Why do it make it to the market? Like that's a broad brush, because like movies, you can say it about movies, you can say it about music, all this negativity. But when you say you watched it or promote it, I guess, but I don't even want to use the word promote, because he didn't really promote it. He just tweeted the book out, which is, because it's him, of course it's somewhat like promoting, but I don't think his intentions was like, all right, everybody read this book, or that he's 100% behind the book. And I think he explained it right, but of course the pressure, especially the Nets immediately put pressure on him, and they suspended him the games. He did, well, I don't want to say he was forced, because he would probably do something like this anyway, because Kyrie is he gives back a lot. Most of you don't know about, but he gives back a lot. He gave a $500,000 to against anti-Semitic things or whatever. Them and the Nets should make it an even million. And anybody that's got common sense know he's not about that. He's just a different thinker. He's always went against the grain. Of course, the vaccination thing, people still not over that, how he handled that situation. So I think people just see him in this light and making this a bigger deal than it is. As far as this is a disclaimer for myself. This is me talking my beliefs. Of course, I'm not against anybody, any race, any religion, anything either. I have my thoughts about religion, about certain things. I'm from Baltimore. I worked at a Jewish hospital. You probably know what hospital I'm talking about if you're from Baltimore. I worked there for 9 years. I have no problem with Jewish people. I actually had a bad experience with Jewish people before I even got to Sinai. Well, I already said the name now. Sinai Hospital here in Baltimore. They got a community. Actually, I live close to it now. I can walk. And I be in the Jewish community. They own a lot of things on Upper Park Heights. If you're from Baltimore, you're familiar with Park Heights. They own the upper part of Park Heights. They got their own little, basically small little city there. And I guess I'll tell this story just to make a point. I was a teenager. I used to go to a barbershop on Ricestown Road. This was in the 90s, so there was no cell phones or nothing. The father gave me a quarter he dropped me off at the barbershop. He gave me a quarter to call him when I was done, but the phone took my quarter, so I had no way of calling him. I didn't want to ask, me being who I was, was nervous, was a real shy person, didn't want to ask nobody to use the phone. So what I did is I said, well, it's not that far. I mean, it's a little walk, but it's not really, really far. I walked home, but I walked the only way I knew, which was I went over to Park Heights, and I lived on Pimlico Road, which is, I'm not too far from there now, actually. I'm on Belvedere Avenue. So anyway, I walked home, I walked through the community, they was pointing at me, laughing at me. And I understand, because, they're not used to a black man walking through their neighborhood, even though I was a little kid, then. But I'm just sad there's bad people in all of life. And the Kyrie situation, I just told that story just to say, like, it's bad black people, it's bad white people, it's bad Jewish people, it's bad everything. It's good, but it's good in all of that too. I don't think Kyrie's intentions was to promote hate. I guess this book got a lot of positive about African Americans, and how supposedly it was the first Hebrews and Jews and all that. Like I said, I'm not into religion, so I don't even want to get into all that. But if that's what he stands for, that's what he stands for. But I don't think he was trying to put down Jewish people at all. But the way the sensitive world we live in now, you can't barely say nothing. You can't, So, but hopefully he gets through this. Nike already cut him a little bit, so the backlash is hard, but I don't think it should be for him. I think, I don't even want to call it a mistake, because I think he just was, just tweeted something. But that's where I stand on it, but I'm not surprised, and even though I don't think he's wrong, you gotta know you can't do it, and he's trying to walk it back a little bit, which I understand, because they're trying to take his money. People say he should be out the league. It's just crazy. He's suspended. So I understand why he's trying to change the narrative now. It seems like he's, but he really, he apologized, but he's also said, he believed in what he believed in. So I respect him for that. Hopefully this sort of blows over. But the NBA, and it's going to be up to the NBA now after this. Let's see what the NBA does. I think he should just serve his 5 games. They already gave it to him. The Nets did. Go ahead, serve his 5 games, come back, Really, man, like for real, like that's why I understand why some athletes just don't say anything, because you just never know. Like it depends on how the wind's blowing today. What you say could make you lose your money, make you lose your job. So, but I don't think he meant it as hate. Like I know the biggest thing in the book that whatever the book, whoever wrote the book or whatever, that's what I'm saying. They should be getting these people. It was like the Holocaust that happened. Like that's nuts. Like that's like we all understand that's crazy. That we know that it happened. So for somebody to say that's just ignorant, But that was in the book that Kyrie tweeted. So basically, anything in that book that's condemning, they linked it to him. So, but hopefully this blows over. Let's get into some basketball, because I'm already tired of talking about that. I just think it's ridiculous. I think I don't think it should be this big of a deal, and that's not against Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? So, like whoever wrote the book should be where the pitchforks and torture should be, not him. All right, let's do our segment for up NBA ups teams and down, up and down. That's what I call the segment. A new segment got made up, so I list some teams that's up, and I list some teams I think that's trending down. Let's do up first. In the East, the Milwaukee Bucks, undefeated, 8-0. Everybody was worried about them in the preseason, but they still rolling. Another big win last night. Hey. Oh man, I'll talk about that later. They rolling, man. Big win against Minnesota last night. Giannis looked like he's the early MVP. I still think Chris Middleton ain't even back yet, but I knew I wasn't worried about the Bucks going into preseason, and then what the other East team struggling. Maybe they can get some cushion. Maybe be the clear cut favorite for the 1 seed, because Miami's struggling. We got like I said, everything that's going over Brooklyn and Philadelphia. So that's like your top teams there. Boston's still holding on, but there's really nobody. Cleveland, which I'm about to bring up, they in my up in the East too. The Donovan Mitchell thing looks great. They playing together, playing good basketball. In the West, Phoenix Suns, they off to a good start. In the West, people did, myself included, thought they was going to take a step down. At least it don't look like that. DeAndre Ayton looks great. So shout out to the Suns and the Utah Jazz, man. I don't know what's going on with the Jazz, but they winning. I need to look into more deeper. I know they got Mike Conley, but really after him, and Jordan Clarkson as well is huge for them. But everybody else, you don't really know who's there. I know they got an old Rudy Gay, which I didn't think. I forgot Rudy Gay was even in the league still. But shout out to the Jazz, they playing well. But to touch back on the Bucks, I just think right now they're the clear best team, but not just in the East, but in basketball right now. All right, let's go to the downside. In the East, this brought up the Sixers, the injuries. I think it's going to hurt them. I think they're going to struggle a little bit to stay above water. We'll see how they react without Harden. Minnesota Timberwolves, I just don't like the way they playing right now. Like I said, even though Pat Bev not doing nothing in LA, supposedly, but I think he was the glue to that team. Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns have to step up a little bit more, I think. Anthony Edwards as well. That's their core, but they've been, a little inconsistent. So I got them on the down list. In Brooklyn, just for everything that's going on with the Nets. Off to a slow start now with this Kyrie Irving stuff. Big win last night, but they still on my down list this week. And in the West, the Golden State Warriors. I wonder what's going on with the Warriors. They struggling out the gate. Jordan Poole been a little inconsistent. Steph Curry doing this thing. He's been the only consistent player. Everybody else, Well, they say Wiggins playing well. I think he is, but I think he can. Unfortunately, I mean, I think he could do more. That's just my opinion. He's playing well. He's efficient, but I think he needs to step into that second score role, like really step into it. I think they still try to get Clay that, but I think as of right now, I think Wiggins is playing better. So I think Wiggins should be the second option. Jordan Poole, I think Klay Thompson should be like the third or fourth option. Really, right now, the way he's playing. Defensively, they haven't played well either. James Wiseman, they got together yet. Looney, like so. Whole team struggling other than Steph, really. And I throw Andrew Wiggins in there. He's playing well too, but he's struggling overall. So they made it to my down list this week. We do it every week. You know, I try to do at least 3 teams, but sometimes it might just be 1 or 2, depending on what's going on. So that's my up and down segment for the week. Okay, let's get into the NFL now. Let's do our picks real quick. Then we can wrap this video up, because I'm tired. I want to lay down so bad. Okay, so we're gonna go through. Let's talk about the Thursday night football game first. Like I said, I got into a little debate with a friend of mine, older lady, friend of mine. Try to just tell her that it's the NFL, the Eagles. They playing well. They playing good football. I think they can make it to the Super Bowl. Not saying that they're gonna lose automatically. I'm just saying that they have flaws. Houston, Texas, they hung in that game. The score don't emulate how close they was really in this game. They pretty much hung with the Eagles most of the game. The second half, the Eagles pulled away. They the better team, so you expected that. But offensively, like I said, they know what they want to do. They want to run RPOs with Jalen Hurts, who's playing very, very well. AJ Brown has stepped out. Has been that number 1 receiver that they thought he would be. Miles Sanders doing his day. So the offense, not only thing you could probably say is just a little inconsistent, but not, but very, at times just but they play very, very well. Can't really complain about the offense. Now the defense, allowed on rush yards, that's an issue. I really think if Houston was a better team, Philly might have went down. If they'd had a quarterback that take advantage of the run game like that, I think the Eagles would have lost. But since it was Houston, Mills, I think was their quarterback. He flashed a little bit, but he just wasn't enough, and the Eagles able to win the game. So they, believe they buys next week. I'm not sure, but no. Matter of fact, they play next Monday night against Washington. So they get the 11th day off, just like the Ravens just did, from Thursday to Monday night. So, and that's probably gonna be another win. But I think Washington, though, they're a little feisty. So Eagles better watch out. Like I said, they play like they did Thursday night. That could be a close game, and a division game as well. So that could be a close game in 11 days. And maybe they hear that, because some people say the same thing I'm saying. So maybe that, when you win it, you gotta try to stay motivated, especially in the NFL. Because if you give it a half effort, it's going to show. So we'll see how they look next week. But they still going to be number 1 in my power rankings. They ain't falling down until they lose. And even if they lose, unless one of these Buffalo will probably jump them if they lose. But the Eagles looking good right now. I give them their respect. I'm just saying that they got flaws. They need to clean up a little bit. That's all. Alright, let's go to the picks. Let's get to the picks for the week. These are the Sunday games. We got Big 5. I got my Big 5 list here. Okay, first game up. Chargers at the Falcons. A lot of people picking the Falcons in this game, but I'm tempted to as well, because the Chargers got a lot of injuries, especially at the receiving core. Justin Herbert haven't looked it sharp. On the defensive side, a lot of injuries as well. Just an injured football team. But I'm going to give a benefit of the doubt. I think it's going to be close. I think the Falcons will make this a game, but I'm going to go with the Chargers to win. Chargers 3-point favorites. Miami at Chicago. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Dolphins We're 5-3. But Tua has played very, very well. So I think Chicago pretty much, with all the trades they just made, I think the team ain't gonna be into it. I think this could be a blowout. I got the Dolphins winning on the road. Panthers at Bengals. Bengals just so weird. Like they look good for 2-3 weeks and then just lay an egg. But I don't think they're gonna lay an egg here against the Panthers. I like the Panthers the way they playing with PJ Walker. I think you should just leave him in there, see if you can win some more games. But I think Cincinnati just will be too much. And they coming off a loss. I think they win against Carolina. Packers at Lions. I'm gonna go with the Packers. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions win this game, man. Green Bay hasn't looked good at all. Aaron Rodgers looked like a shell of himself. I think they need to start leaning on the run game. Like, let Aaron Jones do his things. But Lions defense is bad, so I would just run the ball at him. Detroit, offensively now they got cold. So I'm gonna go with Green Bay here, but it shocked me if the Lions pulled the upset. Patriots and Colts. I messed up my score. There we go. Oh, Colts at Patriots. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with New England here. New England again, another weird team. Looks real good and then just looks bad. So, Colts going to Sam Ellinger. I think Bill Belichick is good, but with a young quarterback, especially their first time he sees him. So, I think New England gonna win this game. Excuse me. Vikings at Commanders. Bills at Jets first. I'm sorry. That's part of my big five. Bills though, 11.5-point favorite. I know the Bills are looking good, but division games you just never know. I think the Jets gonna make it a closer game. But I just think Zach Wilson, the turnovers, he gotta stop. If he turn the ball over, this could be a big blowout. But I think the Jets gonna try to control the ball a little bit, make it a 30 game. I think the Bills will still be too much for them. 11.5 though, that's too bad. That's too big. I think it'll be closer. I think it'll be at least under 10. I'm gonna give the Jets that respect, and they at home. Even though I haven't played well at home, I think all three of their losses came at home. I think these 5 wins is on the road. I think they just won 3 at home, something like that. And I think the other games has been on the road they won. So, but I think the Bills win. I think Josh Allen will be Josh Allen, and I think it'll be too much for the Jets. I got the Bills winning. Now we got Vikings and Commanders. Vikings again. I'm gonna keep saying this about them. Now you're starting to get attention. Is you go to lay an egg or not? The Commanders is a feisty team, like I said with Heineke. If he starts, I like him better than Wentz right now. I just think he gives them a little bit more of a spark. And Washington, they're not going to go away. So I think the Vikings will have to go in there and win this game. Then they on the road. Kirk Cousins on the road, a little different. But I think this is a Dalvin Cook game. I think Dalvin Cook have a big game. I think they win against Washington. It's only a 3-point favorite. I think that's fair. The way Washington been playing, I get on that. Raiders at Jags. Oh man, this is the flip a coin in this game, by the way. But Raiders. Oh, no, what happened to them last week against New Orleans? New Orleans defense looked great last week. Vegas is favorite though, but I'm gonna go with them. I just think they did a little bit of better team. I think it'll be a close game. Jags still growing. You see potential in them, but I just think they still young. They still growing. Even though you would think this would be a game they could win, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders to win that game. Seahawks Cardinals. Seahawks surprising people, and I think they win this game. I think they go in a row and win. I think Geno Smith shows out. Kyler Murray just a little inconsistent this year. I think Cliff Kingsbury, I think he's on the way out. The more the Cardinals lose, he might be out before the season. But Seattle probably the biggest surprise in the NFL after being able to do this. So I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here. Arizona though, they is favorite by 2 points. Another Big 5 game. Big game to me in the NFC, Rams and Buccaneers. I think it's bigger for the Rams because I think they have a less margin for error because of the 49ers. But I think I was thinking, this could be a big game for either of these teams to propel them to get them back on track. But I think if any of these teams loses, I think they still fine. They still can win their division, especially Tampa. I just think Tampa, New Orleans, even though they've been looking good lately, they behind in the standings. Atlanta, with me thinking they're going to lose this week, I don't think they're going to pull away. So I think Tampa can turn it around. We'll see how everybody, the divorce and all that. I'm not going to get into that. Hopefully now he can play better, he be focused on football, which could be true. It could be a true thing. I've never been in a divorce, but I can imagine it's straight on your mind. So we'll see if Tom plays better. But I'm gonna go with them to win the game. The Rams to me just look bad. Really, it's just Cooper Kupp or nothing. Matthew Stafford haven't looked great. I think the Bucks can slow down their offense a little bit. And maybe get their run game going. Both teams don't stop the run that well, so maybe both teams will discover the running game in this game. I'm gonna go with the Bucks slightly. They're at home, so I'm gonna go with them to win the game. Who's favorite? Tampa by 3. Okay, that sounds fair. All right, Titans at Chiefs. Both teams 5-2. This is a big game in the AFC. This is a big game on my big list. I'm Chiefs all the way. Chiefs, they look like the Chiefs again, even though no Tyreek Hill, but Patrick Mahomes, some people say he should be MVP right now. Titans, like I said, I respect the Titans, the way they play, the way they fight. Mike Vrabel comes half his team prepared. I just think unless Derrick Henry goes off again, have 200-300 yards, 200-yard game, I don't see the Titans keeping up with the Chiefs. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, and they at home. 12.5 might be too much. Like I said, I think this game would be closer than that. But it could potentially be a Chiefs blowout if Tennessee can't muster anything on offense. But I think it's going to be up to Derrick Henry for that. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs to win the game. And that was a Sunday night game. So Monday night, also made my big list. The Baltimore Ravens had to do all the Saints. The way the Saints just look. And the Ravens, can they keep up in this AFC North, excuse me. Dangerous game for the Ravens though. Can't go in there lollygagging, can't go in there blowing second halves, all that stuff you've been doing all year. Now speaking as a Ravens fan now, I think they'll win the game though, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think the Saints defense is starting to come around. Alvin Kamara running the ball well. You'll probably see some Taysom Hill and Andy Dalton not afraid of us. He was in our division for years, so he hurt us before. So this is a game you got to watch out for. But I think the Ravens are the better team, and I think they go handle their business in New Orleans. I think they win it. That crowd will be into the game, especially the first half. So can you weather that storm, and then in the second half can you make the right adjustments and bring the game home? That's been the Ravens' problem all year. But I think they'll be able to do it. I think they beat the Saints on the road. Ravens are 2.5 favorites on the road, so I'm gonna go with the Ravens here. So that is our week 9 picks for the week. So enjoy your football tomorrow. We got some college football today. Like I said, the World Series today. So big sporting events this weekend, period. So check them all out. As far as the channel, I'll get my final thoughts here. Thanks so much, like I said, for support. I'm at the 123 now with subscribers, so I grew a little bit this week. So thank you to all my new subscribers. Like I said, check out the community tab. I'll probably give you a shout out. I like to normally do it on Wednesdays, but I throw something in there during the week. Alright, like I said, my projects, like I said, Last of Us is over. You go watch from the beginning to end. Last of Us Part 1 included a DLC, Left Behind, with if you're familiar with the game, Ellie and Riley, her best friend. Of course, Riley wound up dying. I think they both got bit by the infected. But I forgot how Ellie, maybe in Part 2 they will explain it, or I could just read up on it. What exactly happened? Did she turn, and then she just, left alone? Did she have to kill her, or did somebody else kill it? Like, how did she really die? She said she died, so I don't know if she just turned, or did she actually was killed after she turned, or did she even turn? Because the Left Behind sort of leave you with a cliffhanger. I thought you was going to actually finish that part of the story out. But that was I had fun playing Last of Us, so that's why I'm interested in the second one. And I probably won't do it till after we finish Ragnarok, which is coming. That's the big thing that's coming. God of War Ragnarok. Can't wait for it. Been watching videos here and there, get myself ready for it. I think that's Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. I might stay up at midnight and do a special video on it. So look out for that this week. It is sports weekend. It's Madden and NBA 2K. I usually do it after I do a blog. I usually do the Madden video and then do the 2K video on Sundays. But what I'm gonna do tomorrow, I probably do the NBA 2K video and then probably come home Sunday night and do the Madden video, because I'm, like I said, I want to get some rest today, edit this video up and then get some rest. But like I said, thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you to my YouTube family, Helping Hearts 888. Was so glad to hear from her. All my other YouTubers, even my new family, even though sort of want to keep it this, but that's fine. I understand that. Like I said, I said what I said and I'm over it. I still support you, still watch your videos. No love lost here. Like I said, I'm just single, and I was ready. I'm a mingle sometimes. You got some beautiful women on YouTube. It's not. I think like I said, I've been thinking most YouTubers think you just try to come up on them. Like, nah, I actually wanted to talk to you behind the scenes. Like, I don't. Like, the YouTube thing was a separate thing for me. Now if it happens, you want to collaborate, that's fine. Like I said, me and Happy Hearts already talked about that. So that might happen sooner than later, but yeah, but I understand it. Like I said, it's a lot. I've been getting a lot of heat now myself. Now that I'm starting to get some attention, so I had people come at me. So I get it. So you can't trust nobody in this thing. It is cutthroat, but I definitely had no bad intention. I actually wanted to get to know you as a person, some of the women on here, so I'm just being honest with myself. But anyway, that's gonna do it. I'll see you guys next week. Like I said, watch out for my shorts during the week and my community tab. God of War is coming, can't wait. So like I said, so I go do the more content today. I might do something tonight, but it's not going to be any of the sports games. I'll probably just do maybe a Call of Duty video, or maybe my bro might get on later on. You might see a Call of Duty video today, multiplayer, but that's all. And then tomorrow you'll get your sports. So I'm sure everybody said thank you so much. Shout out to Facebook. I've been getting a lot of love on Facebook lately, Instagram, TikTok. I'm still filling out TikTok. I ain't an expert on it yet. I need to practice some editing. But even shout out to TikTok. Shout out to everybody. And all of that is in my description on my page, and it will all be in this video on my social media handles as well. So with that being said, everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe. Peace and love always. Talk to you guys next week, and I'll see you guys during the week on my community tab and my other videos, and appreciate you guys supporting me. Thank you so much.